Okay, for this project, I'm going to be using Caron Simply Soft. It is a worsted weight 4-ply acrylic yarn, but you don't have to use this brand. Any type of 4-ply yarn will work. And I'm going to be using a size I 5.5mm crochet hook. Now I'm making these to fit about 12 months, size 12 months. And you're going to need a couple little buckles. I got these little buckles at Walmart in the button aisle. Also, you could go to a retail shop or something and find an old cheap pair of sandals, little girl sandals, and take the buckles off of them if you wanted to repurpose. Or you could also use a button too, just at the end. Just make this a little shorter. Put a loop at the end for a button if you don't have these. Otherwise, these were only a couple bucks, I think, at Walmart. So I'm going to be using 2 strands of yarn at the same time. You want to start off with a chain of 10. Once you get your chain of 10 made, I'm going to double crochet in the 4th stitch from the hook. And remember that we don't count this one. So 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double crochet. And I'm going to go back in that same stitch and I'm going to double crochet 3 more times. So it's a total of 4 double crochets in that same stitch. Okay, there's 4. Now I'm going to half double crochet into the next stitch, half double. I'm going to half double crochet in the next stitch, half double, and now I'm going to single crochet in the next stitch. Now I'm going to half double again in the next, half double in the next, and you should have 1 stitch left. And in that stitch I'm going to put 7 double crochets all into that last stitch. 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now I'm just going to be working on the other side of the chain. I did my 7, so now I'm just going to be working back up this side of the chain. So I want to go ahead and put a half double in the next stitch, half double, a half double in the next stitch, single in the next stitch, half double in the next stitch, half double into the next stitch, and now we're back at the beginning. So we're going to slip stitch. You can see right here when we started we kind of made this chain in the 3rd stitch of this chain. Slip stitch into it just like that. So it kind of looks like a little peanut right now. Now I'm going to go around it again. And I'm going to start with a chain of 3. That chain of 3 counts as a double crochet. I'm going to go right back in the same spot that I just slip stitched into and put another double crochet. So that's like having 2 double crochets in that same stitch, because that chain 3 counts as 1. Now I'm going to put 2 double crochets in each of these 4 double crochets that we did in the beginning. 2 in each of them. So there's 2 in that one. Two in that one. Two in that one. And 2 in the last one. Like that. Now I'm going to work my way back down here, but I want to put 1/2 double crochet all the way down until I get to down here where we put the 7 double crochets in. So 1/2 double crochet in each stitch across. Just like that. So it's actually a total of 5 half doubles that we just did. Now I'm here on this end where we put the 7 double crochets in that last stitch. I want to put 2 double crochets in each one of these 7 double crochets from the previous round. So 2 double crochets in each one of them. 2 in that one. 2. 2. Oh. 1 more here. There we go. So I have 2 double crochets in each of the 7 that we put in the corner down here. So now I'm just going to work back down, putting a 1/2 double crochet in the rest of these stitches, and there should be 5. A 1/2 double in each of them. One. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we want to end it by slip stitching into the top of this beginning chain 3, like that, and then we can tie this off and hide the tails. And you can see there's my heel, and both heels are, my sole, I'm sorry, both soles are going to be worked the same, so they both look identical. So you just need to make 2 of these, and you can see there's the fatter side up here, which is going to be where the toes go, and down here it's not quite so fat. That's going to be the heel part. So I'm going to go ahead and hide these tails, and then I'm going to switch colors here. Okay, now I'm going to start. I'm still using 2 strands. I'm going to be using 2 strands the whole time, so it makes it a lot stiffer. Okay, you can see where we ended. Right here is the chain 3 that I did earlier. Go back 1, so this stitch right here. You want to start. You can put a stitch marker if you want. If it helps you out here, I'll go ahead and put one. Like that. Now we're going to count around, counting this one as number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So in the 14th one, is where we're going to start. So counting the stitch marker 1, that's number 1. 14. I'm going to go ahead and start my yarn. And actually, I'm only going to be working in the back loop. So, like that. You can see how there's 2 loops. Each stitch has, this is the front loops, and this is the back loops. I'm only going to be working in the back. So go ahead and pull that through. And chain 2. Now I'm going to be working half double crochet in every stitch until we get to the stitch marker, but only in the back loops. Half doubles. So I'm going to yarn over into the back loop only and half double. 1 half double in every stitch, back loops only. By working in the back loops, it leaves the outside ridge there. The outside makes kind of a little ridge, just to make the sole a little bit more defined. But if you put it through both loops, it would still turn out this. It would still work. It just wouldn't have that loop back there. Okay, when you get to the stitch with the stitch marker, you want to do a half double in that one also. And you can move that stitch marker if you want. Now what I'm going to do is do a chain of 13, and this is going to make my strap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13, and that's what's going to reach over. Like this. You can actually do the strap however long you want it to be, but since I'm using the buckle, I want a little bit to hang over, so like that. Now what I like to do here is tie off now. Like that. And I do that because I like all my stitches to be facing the same way when I make little shoes like this. And if I was to just turn and start going back around, the stitches would be opposite direction. So I tie off and then I just start back here at the beginning. I'm kind of weird like that, but you want to start in that. You want to start in your first stitch, or the top of that chain 2 that we did in the beginning. And start off with the chain 1. And then I'm going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch around. Single this time. Now my stitches, by tying off and starting back over, they're facing the right way. Otherwise they would have been facing this way, and it, I don't know, probably really wouldn't have made much difference, but I'm weird like that, so. So 1 single crochet in every stitch across here. And then when you get to the chain, you want to put 1 single crochet in every stitch of this chain. And that's what's going to make the strap. just like this. This is going to be the right foot, and when you make it all the way to the end of the chain, you just want to go ahead and tie your yarn off, clip it off like that, and then you can hide these tails, and we got that made on it. Pretty easy so far. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to go ahead and hide these tails real quick, get them out of the way so they're not in the way while I'm trying to show you the rest of it. Okay, got all of them tails hidden, and now I'm going to start again over here on this side. Now I'm going to start into that first stitch right here that you can see this stitch right here that we went into. I'm still only going to be working in the back loops, so I'm going to start in that same stitch, 2 strands of yarn still at the same time. Then I'm going to chain 1 to start, like that. Now I'm going to work across the whole front here, slip stitching and the back loop only. So I'm going to go into the next stitch, back loop only, slip stitch, and I'm going to do this all the way around the front, just like that. Like that, and then I'm gonna end by slip stitching, show you here, into this stitch here where this half double comes from, and slip stitch into that same stitch and tie it off. A lot of tails I guess to hide on this one, but like that, and that put the ridge along the front of it. That's what we have so far. Now I'm just going to start off separately from the shoe and make the top strap, starting off with a chain of 10. I'm going to half double crochet in the 3rd stitch from the hook, half double, and I'm going to half double crochet in every stitch of the chain. Like that, and you want to cut a little bit longer of a tail so we can sew it on with it. Okay, now I'm gonna sew this on. I'm gonna use these tails here, so I'm just gonna take them and put them on my yarn needle. Now I'm gonna make this long tail come over here to the other side so I can sew on this side too. You can use a separate piece of yarn if you want. I just do it this way because I gotta sew the tail in anyway, so. Okay, I'm gonna clip one of them off and the other one I'm gonna use to sew this piece on with. So, clip one. On this side, I'm just going to sew one of them in. The other one I'm going to use to sew on. So I just got one of them on my needle, and I'm just going to weave it in the back here a little bit. Okay. now I got a piece on each end, so now I'm going to sew it on here with my yarn needle. And I'm going to sew it right about, let's see, count over from the very first slip stitch that you started in. Probably on the 5th and 6th one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, these two. Just, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you just want to kind of get it in about the same spot on each side. So. And what I do is, I just start sewing it on. As neatly as I can. And I just go over like this. And then back over again. Until I feel like it's sewed on tight. Look and look at it. That. And that looks pretty good. And then you just, once you get it sewed on pretty tight, I'm just going to come back and hide my tail back here along the strap. And then I'm going to do the same to the other side. I'm going to sew it in the same spot so it's equal across. So count over. And do it the same way. Like this. I got that sewed on. Now I'm going to sew on my buckle on the opposite side of the strap here. I'm going to use my yarn needle and a piece of yarn. Just get on here and put a couple stitches in it, around it like this. You put a few stitches in it, you just hide the tails. Hide them back here. There's that. Now the left one is going to be pretty much the same. Just get your other heel here and mark off your spot here like we did last time. Here's where we started. The one next to it. And then we're going to count back around. Count starting with this one. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 stitches, just like before. But we're only going to work in the back loop, just like last time. Get your yarn ready. But I want to put a marker on that spot too. we're actually going to start the strap here too. This is why it's put a little marker in that spot too. That way you know. We're going to start the strap here. That way it'll cross us over the opposite way for the left foot. So we're going to start off with a chain of 13, and that's going to be the strap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You do your strap. If you made your strap shorter, like if you thought mine was too long or whatever, just make it the same for what you did this. I did 13, so I did 13 again. Now I'm going to start in this stitch. I'm going to half double, so I'm going to yarn over, go into this stitch with my stitch marker, the back loop only, and kind of your chain kind of twists up, kind of hold it there, and half double crochet in that spot like that. There we go. And now I can move that stitch marker. Now it's pretty much the same. Now we're going to half double across in the back loops only, just like we did before, until we get to our other stitch marker. Half double in the stitch with the stitch marker. Remember, back loops only. Take that off. Gonna tie off here because again, I like my stitches to go, my rows to be facing the same way. So I'm gonna tie off, go back around here to the beginning, and I'm gonna start in this top of this chain here. Start in the first stitch. Chain 1. Go across, put 1 single crochet in every stitch of the chain. Like that, and 1 single crochet in every stitch along the back here. And since I tied off, my stitches are all facing the right way. And get to the end here, and single crochet in your last stitch. You want to tie off here and hide all these tails. And then after you get all your tails hidden, the rest of this is just the same. So we're going to slip stitch around it, starting in this same stitch, back loops only. Start off with the chain 1. And then slip stitch in the back loops only, just like we did on the other piece. Oh, I got a tail in there. I hate when that happens. Try that again. Just like this. The rest is just the same as the other shoe or the other sandal. So I'm going to slip stitch all the way around here, back loops only. And I want my last slip stitch to be in the same stitch as this stitch over here. And then I can clip this off. Hide these tails. All them tails hidden. But then I'm going to make the strap crossed. Remember, we started with a chain of 10 for the strap. Half double in the third stitch from the hook. And then 1 half double in every stitch across. Just like that. Clip it off. And I'm just going to sew it on the exact same way that I sewed it onto the other shoe. Sew it in the same spots. So I'm going to go ahead and sew this on, hide these tails, and then you just sew your buckle on the exact same way. So everything's the exact same now as it was with this one. We just started a little different to make the strap different. Okay, that's it. I got both of them done. That's all there is to it. Pretty easy little booties. They turned out pretty cute. If you make these, don't forget to post a picture on my Facebook page or anything that you could crochet. You always can put a picture of it. I'd really like to see it. And don't forget to check out my other tutorials. And until next time, have a good day.